Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Before you scroll. Before you doubt. Before your mind tries to explain this away. Because this message does not arrive to everyone. There are mantles that are learned. And there are mantles that are recognized. You are carrying something that was not earned through effort alone. It was assigned. Long before you understood prayer. Long before you understood warfare. Long before you understood authority. Heaven already knew your name. And the reason angels respond to you differently is not because you are loud. Not because you are dramatic. Not because you seek attention. It's because they recognize the mantle you carry. This is a battle mantle. And today, you are being called to step into it consciously. A battle mantle is not aggression. It is not domination. It is not chaos. A battle mantle is spiritual jurisdiction. It is the authority to stand in hostile territory and remain unshaken. It is the ability to move into resistance without losing your peace. It is the power to disrupt darkness without becoming dark yourself. That is why your life has always felt like a battleground. Not because you are cursed, but because you were equipped. The enemy does not waste opposition on ordinary people. You were resisted early because your presence alone carries weight. Chosen one. This is not about ego. This is about recognition. Because a battle mantle does not announce itself. It reveals itself through patterns that repeat across your life. As you listen, don't rush. Let the signs find you. You don't have to confront people for things to surface. When you enter rooms, dynamics shift. Conversations change. Hidden tensions rise. Truth leaks out without effort. Sometimes people become defensive around you, and you didn't say a word. That's not coincidence. A battle mantle carries exposing authority. Darkness hates being seen, and your presence turns the lights on. From an early age, you noticed it. Teachers, managers, leaders, gatekeepers. Some felt compelled to block you, even when you were capable, respectful, and quiet. Not because you were rebellious, but because your spirit did not submit to corruption. Battle mantles challenge false authority simply by existing, and insecure leaders sense it. When things collapse, something in you activates. Your mind sharpens. Your emotions stabilize. Your decisions become precise. While others spiral, you ground. That calm isn't numbness. It's command. You were built for pressure. Crisis doesn't scare you, it organizes you. You didn't get the luxury of staying naive. Responsibility found you early. Loss touched you young. Reality pulled you out of innocence fast. It wasn't fair, but it was formative. Battle mantles require depth before deployment. You learned discernment, while others were still learning comfort. You don't need volume. When you speak, people pause. When you say, enough, something stops. When you say, this isn't right, others feel it. You've noticed people replay your words in their minds. That's not charisma. That's authority embedded in sound. Heaven backs what you say when you speak aligned. You may stay silent, but inside you burn. Lies disturb you. Manipulation unsettles you. Unfairness agitates your spirit. Not because you're sensitive, but because battle mantles are wired for alignment. Your spirit recognizes what is out of order. Isolation wasn't punishment. It was training. While others were distracted, you were refined. While others were affirmed, you were prepared. God often isolates battle carriers so they don't absorb the wrong influences. Solitude sharpened your discernment. Silence strengthened your authority. You don't look for fights. You don't crave dominance. But when confrontation becomes necessary, you don't run. You stand. And something shifts when you do. Battle mantles don't chase war. They end it. You've felt it. You walk into situations already carrying weight. You feel responsible to restore, protect, or correct. Not out of control, but out of calling. Battle mantles carry territorial awareness. You sense when something needs covering. When you hear words like stand, authority, mantle, watchman, Sword, gate, kingdom. Something in you stirs. That's not imagination. That's recognition. Your spirit remembers what your mind is still learning. Let's be honest. There were moments you shouldn't have made it through. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Yet here you are. Not untouched, but intact. Battle mantles are protected, not spared. You were preserved for a reason. This is the clearest sign. The inner nudge. The restlessness. The knowing. Something is shifting. And you can't go back to who you were. Because the mantle is no longer dormant. It's time. Here is something most people don't understand. Angels do not respond to desperation. They respond to authority. Authority is alignment with heaven's order. That's why when you speak calmly, things move. When you declare quietly, resistance breaks. You don't have to beg. You don't have to perform. Because heaven already knows where you stand. Your mantle carries rank, not noise. You wondered why others advanced faster. Why you stayed unseen while carrying depth. It wasn't delay. It was containment. Battle mantles are not revealed until the carrier is stable. Visibility too early would have invited warfare you weren't meant to fight yet. God protects his weapons. And now, something has shifted. Chosen one. This may free you more than you realize. Heaven is not moved by panic. Angels are not activated by desperation. Spiritual authority is not released through emotional intensity. Angels recognize order. Order is alignment with heaven's structure, timing, and intent. That is why some people shout and nothing happens, while others whisper and realms shift. Angels are not impressed by how loudly you pray. They are not stirred by how emotional your voice sounds. They respond to where you are standing. When you speak from alignment, heaven listens. When you speak from insecurity, heaven waits. This is why your quiet prayers carry weight. This is why your calm declarations feel effective. You are not lacking passion. You are carrying placement. You've noticed it. Some prayers leave people drained. Others leave people strengthened. Emotional striving tries to reach heaven. Ordered authority stands within it. You were never meant to beg for access. Your battle mantle grants you jurisdiction, not desperation. Noise tries to force outcomes. Command releases what's already been authorized. Noise argues. Command declares. Noise pleads. Command aligns. You instinctively know this. That's why overdramatic spirituality never felt natural to you. Your spirit prefers clarity over chaos. People may have questioned your passion. They mistook your calm for passivity, your restraint for hesitation. But stillness is not absence. Stillness is control. Angels recognize restraint as authority. Because heaven itself moves with precision, not frenzy. God does not release authority to unstable vessels. That's why your life required discipline before visibility, stability before influence, endurance before recognition. Heaven watches how you respond under pressure. And you pass tests you didn't even know were exams. This is important. You don't need dramatic language. You don't need perfect phrasing. You don't need heightened emotion. You need alignment. When your heart, intention, and position agree, angels move. That's why sometimes your simplest prayers were your strongest. Angels are assigned to boundaries, gates, regions, assignments. They operate within systems. When you stand in your role, they know what to do. Confusion delays action. Order accelerates response. Because reaction disrupts order. The enemy wants you tired, scattered, reactive. Because a reactive carrier loses precision. That's why your discipline, silence, and emotional mastery frustrate darkness. You are harder to manipulate when you are ordered. You're no longer easily provoked. You don't chase validation. You don't rush decisions. That maturity is not age, it's rank. Heaven promotes those who can carry power without losing peace. Chosen one. You don't need to become louder. You don't need to become more intense. You need to remain aligned. Angels already recognize your order. Heaven already acknowledges your position. Now walk in it. Quietly. Confidently. With authority that doesn't need to announce itself. You wondered why others advanced faster. Why you stayed unseen while carrying depth. It wasn't delay. It was containment. Battle mantles are not revealed until the carrier is stable. Visibility too early would have invited warfare you weren't meant to fight yet. God protects his weapons. And now, something has shifted. Listen carefully. This is the season where you stop asking for permission. Not from people. Not from fear. Not from old versions of yourself. You don't need approval to stand where God placed you. Your authority activates the moment you accept it. Not emotionally. Not dramatically. But consciously. Chosen one. Authority does not arrive with noise. It arrives with clarity. Many people imagine authority as force, intensity, or dominance. But true spiritual authority is something far more subtle and far more powerful. It changes how you stand, how you speak, and how you decide. One of the clearest signs you're stepping into authority is this. You stop asking for validation. Not because you've become arrogant, but because you've become rooted. You no longer need everyone to agree with you in order to move. You no longer explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You consult God. You listen. Then you act. That internal alignment replaces external approval. Authority speaks less and says more. You stop filling silence with explanations. You stop oversharing your plans. You stop defending your decisions to unqualified listeners. When you do speak, it's intentional, measured, clear. Your words begin to land heavier, not because they're sharper, but because they're settled. Stepping into authority changes how you say no. Not angrily, not dramatically, just firmly. You stop negotiating boundaries that were never meant to be crossed. You stop rescuing people from consequences they were meant to face. Your no protects your assignment, and heaven honors boundaries you enforce. Urgency fades. Precision increases. You no longer rush to respond, react, or prove anything. You pause. You discern. You move when the moment is right. Authority understands timing, and timing multiplies impact. This one is important. When you step into authority, you stop shrinking to keep people comfortable. You don't chase connection that requires self-betrayal. You don't compromise truth for belonging. Some relationships naturally fall away, not because you rejected them, but because misalignment became visible. Authority clarifies. You notice it. Certain arguments no longer tempt you. Certain distractions lose their pull. Not because you're superior, but because you're assigned elsewhere. Authority knows when a battle is beneath its jurisdiction. People feel something when you arrive. Not intimidation. Not fear. Stability. They sense safety or exposure. Because authority doesn't try to impress, it sets tone. You don't dominate rooms. You anchor them. You're no longer afraid of quiet moments. Silence becomes a tool. You let others reveal themselves. You let situations unfold without interference. Authority understands that not every moment requires input. Some moments require containment. This is subtle but real. You become aware that your reactions matter. Your discipline matters. Your consistency matters. Not out of pressure, but stewardship. You're not just living for yourself anymore. You're carrying weight. This is the paradox. The more you step into authority, the less you try to appear authoritative. You don't posture. You don't perform. You don't intimidate. You simply are. And that's what makes it undeniable. Chosen one. Stepping into authority doesn't make you louder. It makes you clearer. It doesn't make you harder. It makes you steadier. You're not becoming someone else. You're shedding what never belonged to you. Authority isn't something you grab. It's something you stand in. And you're already standing there. Your stillness is not weakness. It's loaded. It signals readiness. It signals awareness. It signals control. That's why attacks escalate when you refuse to react. Darkness feeds on reaction. You deny it fuel. You don't fight everything. You discern what matters. You don't waste energy. You move with timing. That's why impulsive people misunderstand you. But heaven doesn't. Chosen one. Before you move on, before you analyze, before you scroll or speak, pause. Because what has been spoken is not information. It is recognition. Take a slow breath in and let it settle. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not catching up. You are being prepared. Every delay refined you. Every silence trained you. Every closed door protected you. Nothing was wasted. You are not stepping into authority to dominate. You are stepping into authority to stabilize. To bring order where there was confusion. To bring peace where there was tension. To bring clarity where there was distortion. This is not about control. This is about alignment. Let go of the version of yourself that had to prove everything. You don't have to explain your calling. You don't have to convince anyone of your depth. You don't have to defend your boundaries. Those who are meant to recognize you will. Those who don't, were never assigned to understand. Receive this truth gently. You are trusted by heaven. That's why pressure shaped you instead of breaking you. That's why isolation sharpened you instead of shrinking you. That's why restraint matured you instead of silencing you. Heaven does not entrust authority to unstable vessels. And you are stable. Now listen carefully. Authority does not demand attention. It draws alignment. You will notice things beginning to respond to you differently. Not because you changed your tone, but because you changed your position. You stood up internally. From this moment forward, you move without rushing. You speak without striving. You stand without fear. You don't retreat when challenged. You don't overreact when tested. You don't shrink when observed. You remain anchored. Let this be sealed in you. You are not fighting to become something. You are remembering who you already are. The mantle was never missing. Your awareness was simply unfolding. Take one more slow breath. Feel the stillness. Feel the clarity. Feel the peace. That peace is not passive. It is authority at rest. Chosen one. Walk gently. Stand firmly. Move deliberately. Heaven recognizes you. Angels recognize your order. And now, you recognize yourself. Receive this. Slowly. If this message touched your heart, and you feel guided, please like this video. And you can support the channel through the link in the channel's bio. Even your $1 is very precious for me and this channel. Your kindness helps us continue spreading light and love. God bless you.